Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Running a Bar for Dummies by Ray Foley and Heather Dismore. Narrated by Graham Rowat. Introduction. The bar business is exciting. Every night's a party. We're thrilled you're looking to get involved, and you've definitely come to the right place to get started. From the neighborhood bar to the local wine bar, opportunities in the industry have never been greater. This book is your guide to getting started in the right direction. A lot of books have been written on being a bartender. Heck, co-author Ray wrote Bartending for Dummies. But to run a bar, you have to be more than just a great bartender. To be the owner, you have to see beyond the glamour of standing behind the bar, flipping bottles, pouring draft beers, and chatting up customers. You have to feel the anxiety and the blood, sweat, and tears that accompany it. As you listen to this book, we think you will come to understand, if you don't already, that the bar business really is a business. You crunch numbers, make sales projections, watch labor costs, and so on, just like in every other business. And ultimately, your success is judged, like any other business, on your profitability. Whether you're a salty bartender or a cocktail waitress looking at your long-term goals, listening to this book is a terrific step in launching your own business in the bar industry. About this book. You don't have to pass an exam or earn a degree to prove you can run your bar. Instead, you have to work at it, gain experience, and have more than a little common sense. We wrote this book to help you determine what skills you need to get into the business, and we help you figure out where you need to fill in the blanks. After you listen to this book, you'll have a good idea whether this is the racket for you, and you'll have the knowledge to get started on the right foot. You can find plenty of books that tell you how to open a bar, but you won't find many about how to keep it open. This book does both. Why? Because even after opening day arrives, you can never stop improving your service, evaluating your product, scoping out the competition, or researching opportunities in the marketplace. Change is the only constant in this business. To succeed, you must anticipate and act on new trends, new pressures, and whatever else the market throws your way. The spoils go to those who see opportunities before they happen. Foolish assumptions. Bar owners have to make assumptions about the patrons sitting on the other side of the bar, and authors have to do the same thing. We have to make assumptions about our listeners. With that in mind, we've come up with the following list of assumptions about why you've chosen this book. You're thinking about opening your own bar, and you want practical how-to advice to accomplish your goals. You're a bartender or other bar employee who wants to take your experience to the next level and manage a bar. You've never worked in a bar, but you've had success in other professional endeavors and have skills that you may be able to apply to this business. You buy every book that sports a yellow and black cover. You currently own or operate a bar, and you're seeking advice, tips, and suggestions to keep things running smoothly and successfully. Here's another assumption that we'll address right now, just in case you're carrying this common misconception. Don't think that you should open a bar because you want a cool place to hang out. It's tough to sit down in your bar and actually relax. Typically, you can't turn your management mindset off just because your friends or family come in. You're too busy watching cocktails being made, looking at paper scraps on the floor, or looking at plates of food going by, doing a sort of on-the-fly quality check. If you take time to actually sit down during a shift, you lose your control or awareness of what's going on. Even if you come in on the one day a month you're off, you'll still probably be distracted by what's going on around you. Remember that when you're in the bar business, you're married to it. Icons used in this book. Here's the guide so you can tell what they are and what they're for. Tip. The tip icon calls your attention to ideas that can make your job easier and help you sidestep problems. The tips often give you handy ideas on ways to improve your business today. Remember. The Remember icon points out where we reinforce the concepts we discuss. If you're in a time crunch and can't listen to the entire chapter, you can refer to this icon and still come away with some very useful information. Warning. The warning icon alerts you to potential pitfalls and gives you a heads up on mistakes to avoid. Pay attention when this icon rears its head, because it's there to show you something important. Technical stuff. The technical stuff icon alerts you to interesting, but not critical, background information about the subject being discussed. You don't have to hear the information to understand the ideas and concepts, but you may find it interesting nonetheless. Beyond the book. In addition to the material in the book you're listening to right now, we've put some Access Anywhere extras out on the web. For the scoop on figuring out beverage costs, questions to ask the Alcohol Control Board, must-have bar items, and more, check out the free cheat sheet at dummies.com/cheat sheet/running a bar. Also, be sure to visit dummies.com/extras/running a bar for free articles about incorporating beverage trends into your menu, social media sites for bar owners to join, and mobile apps for bar owners. Where to go from here? Because this is a For Dummies book, you don't have to listen to it in order, word for word, start to finish. If you prefer, you can check out the corresponding part, chapter, or section and listen up on the issue that most interests you, rather than plow through the entire book. You can find out what you want to know without first having heard the information that precedes it. In other words, this book gives you get-in and get-out convenience. You can start wherever you want and listen to whatever you want. You can jump around and finish listening when you feel like it. So grab your bar towel and get going. Interested in tips for improving your drink menu today? Go to Chapter 9. Do you need a test to quiz your soon-to-be hotshot bartender? Go to Chapter 10. Looking to get started on a new business plan? Go to Chapter 5. Need help choosing a name for your new place? You gotta hear Chapter 6. Part 1. Cheers. Getting started in the bar industry. In this part, understand just what kinds of issues and experiences you may encounter in your bar or pub. Set realistic expectations for what running a bar is really like. Consider whether you can handle the specific work-life balance challenges that the bar industry is famous for. Identify key players on your team, like an accountant, who can help you achieve your dream of owning a bar. Look at the ins and outs of what the business is like on a day-to-day basis. Look at the legal issues surrounding the bar industry. Refine your ideas for what kind of bar you want to run. Check out several hot concepts in the bar business. Chapter 1. Bar Business Basics. In this chapter, understanding the basics of the business, deciding whether you have the necessary skills. Think of all the great times people have in bars. They meet for girls' night out, bachelor parties, reunions, birthdays, or just because it's Thursday. They come to celebrate, relax, or have fun. It's a fact. People like bars. So it's not a leap for people to think, hey, I enjoy hanging out in bars, so I may as well get paid to do what I enjoy, hanging out in bars. Viewed from the bar stool, on the public side of the bar, it's easy to miss all the hard work that goes on to make hanging out in bars fun for everyone else. When you have to manage every detail, such as hiring the music, choosing the lighting, designing the menu, and picking up trash in the parking lot, the bar business quickly becomes more work than fun. So don't be fooled. In this chapter, we take you on a quick tour of the business. We explore your reasons for getting into the business and help you check your expectations for your new venture. We introduce you to what you need to know to understand and maximize the true financial performance of your new venture. And, finally, we inspire you to keep reaching out to your patrons. Look at the other chapters in this book for more detailed information about these topics and other important points to know about getting your bar going and keeping it running. Deciding whether the bar business is right for you. The bar business world is more than a party every night of the week. It's actually a business. Those owners who look at it as a business ultimately have a much greater chance of succeeding. You can't just give drinks to friends or offer drink specials too deep to turn a profit. You can't order too many bottles of whiskey only to not see 2 of them walk out the door. You have a tremendous opportunity to make a great career out of a fun business if you're willing to put in the effort and use some common sense. Why do you want to be in the bar business? The bar business is tough for some people to relate to because you're selling an experience rather than something that's physically packaged that you can hold. Instead, your product is packaged in many layers, from the music you play to your furniture and lighting choices to the beers you have on draft. All these things make up your packaging, affect the costs of doing business, and affect your patron's decision to hang out at your place or move on down the street. Think about these questions when you're contemplating your decision to take the plunge and run your own place. Do you really like people? An odd question on the surface, perhaps, but running a bar doesn't afford you a lot of quiet, contemplative alone time. Make sure you can stand the onslaught of conversation and complaints. How do you handle your own liquor? For some people, running a bar is like giving a kid the keys to a candy store. The liquor is always available, and they don't seem to know when to say when. Are you a night owl? Think about your own internal clock. When does it turn on and shut off? If you like to be up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, this could be the industry for you. Are you ready to babysit adults? As the owner or manager of the bar, you have many employees, suppliers, and customers who need your attention. Sometimes you're the one who has to cover a missed shift on the fly. Occasionally you have to handle a late shipment of liquor that arrives inconveniently at 6 o'clock on a Friday night. Most likely you'll need to attend to a patron who needs a cab. Whatever the scenario, tag, you're it. Tip. Make sure you spend some time listening to Chapter 2 to get a feel for what the business is really like before you invest serious time and money in developing your ideas. What do you expect to get out of your place? Now's the time for you to sit down and create your plan for what your bar should be. Early on, create the pie-in-the-sky version of your ideal place, including a menu, both drink and food, and even draw up mock floor plans. Figure out where you want your stage and TVs to go, how many bars or wells you might have, what your theme is going to be, and so on. Make sure you figure out what you, as a person, want to get out of the occupation of running a bar. Think about these questions. How much time do I want to dedicate to work? Running a bar takes a lot of time, just like managing any other business. The key difference, though, is that the time tends to be during non-traditional work times. So when the rest of the world is out having a good time, you're providing the good time. How much time do I need to spend with my family? If you like to spend nights and weekends at home, this may not be the business for you. But if you're open to finding other times to enjoy each other, you can make it work. How do I like to spend my free time? If you enjoy talking with people, listening to music, and playing an occasional game of pool during your free time, you'll probably enjoy this work. But remember to draw a clear line between your business and personal lives. Do I like having any free time? When you own your own business, you don't have lots of free time in the beginning. If you hire the right staff members, see Chapter 10 for help, and train them right, you can work your way into delegating some of your jobs. Eventually, you must take certain steps to plan your business so it'll be a success before you can open the doors and enjoy it. In fact, we recommend you start planning as soon as you can so you can decide whether your plan is a viable one. Tip. Create a timeline for getting your business up and running. Chapter 13. Decide exactly what kind of bar you want to run. Chapter 4. Choose a name that suits it. Chapter 6. Develop a detailed business plan and use it to find and secure financing. Chapters 5 and 3, respectively. Find the best location for your new bar and get the right licenses and permits as soon as you can. Chapters 6 and 3, respectively. Starting fresh or taking over an existing bar. The decision to open a bar is a big one. Sometimes people are just sort of considering the idea, and then, out of the blue, they fall in love with an existing location, immediately imagining themselves behind the bar, spit-shining glasses. Other people build their dream bar in their mind's eye from the ground up. They have very specific ideas about every physical detail of their place. And naturally, they want to physically build it from the ground up as well. Depending on your schedule and budget, you can make either scenario a success if you keep certain things in mind. which we explore in this section. Location, location, location. The bar business is a bit of a different animal. Location definitely matters, as it does in any business, but what defines a great location is in the mind of the beholder. Some people choose to buy or build a bar in an already booming area, and choose to pay higher rent to get a leg up on getting people in the door. Others think it's better to speculate a bit and get in on the ground floor of an up-and-coming neighborhood in the hopes that the area will be the next hot thing. They save on rent, but usually spend more promoting their business and have to wait a while to see a return on their investment. The choice is yours. To help you figure out which way to go and other specifics about finding the right location for your bar, check out Chapter 6. Tip: many small neighborhood bars are not in what people would consider ideal locations, but the people who patronize them love them and wouldn't think of going anywhere else. In most cases, these places have been around a long time. If you're taking over a location like this, it's important to figure out what's working already. People have sought out this place for a reason, so you need to figure out what the reason is to avoid messing it up. Don't just come in and change everything. Instead, meld your ideas with the existing business to make it work for you. Remember, don't alienate your built-in clientele unless you have to, and then make sure you can replace them with another clientele through marketing, advertising, and other means. Getting in with the right people. We're not talking about the celebrity A-list crowd here. Instead, we mean the barrage of people who can help you alter your space to fit your needs. Most people starting a new business want to change a few things at their new location. Maybe you need to add a wall to create a quiet area away from the stage. Maybe you need to upgrade the bathrooms to comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act regulations. Or maybe you need to install a more comprehensive air filtration system to keep cigarette smoke away from your customers. A contractor can save you lots of time and trouble. Don't hesitate to ask questions of a couple of different ones and check their references. Chapter 3 has tips on finding and hiring a contractor. Here's a quick list of a few hired helpers to keep on speed dial, depending on your concept. A good equipment repair technician. Very important, especially if you've purchased used equipment that always needs to be in working order. A plumber who works nights and weekends. Toilets back up even on busy Saturday nights. A handyman. Someone who has restaurant experience is a huge plus. You never know when you'll need someone to solder a table leg, replace a window, or fix a crack in your sidewalk on the fly. An electrician. He can help you set up dimmers, hide wires and components in places you didn't know were available, and rig up lighting for your stage. When buying a new cash register, make sure the vendor you buy it from offers 24-hour service. You don't want to find yourself in the position of not being able to accept payment or make change if your register suddenly goes on the fritz at midnight. Tip: sometimes you get lucky, and someone on your existing staff has some of these skills. Make use of them. The staffer feels good because you recognize his talent, and you save the cost of a service call. Staying on top of the latest bar trends. To be successful in this or really any business, you need to take care of your business today, tomorrow, and years from now. One of the best ways to do this is by staying up on trends in the bar and restaurant businesses. By watching food and beverage trends across all food service outlets, you can find great additions to your food and drink menu. Watch what bartenders and mixologists in larger markets are doing for inspiration to create a new cocktail, for example. Read the trade magazines, including Bartender Magazine, trade papers, and internet sites dedicated to cocktails and drink ideas, such as co-author Ray's site, bartender.com. Consider new categories of food service. If you serve traditional pub grub, maybe you want to try serving some small plates or tapas that still match your core menu ideas. For more on tapas or other kinds of food menu items, take a gander at Chapter 9. Meld your core concept with what's hot in the industry. You can keep your concepts fresh while still keeping your core identity. Look for different fruits that seem popular with patrons. Currently, yuzu and fruit ciders top the list, and incorporate them into your signature cocktail, for example. Tea and vegetable ingredients, such as hot peppers and beet juice, are also really popular at the moment. Consider adding these flavors to new menu offerings that work within your bar's parameters. Stay ahead of the pack. Get ideas from promotions and marketing ideas that work in other markets, and be the first to bring them to your town. Ultimately, you're competing directly with all the other bars in your area. You're also competing indirectly with local restaurant bars and even carry-out liquor stores nearby. So keeping an eye on what's going on closer to home is essential. You don't want to copy them and adopt a Me Too approach to innovation, but you want to know what they're up to. Check out Chapter 16 for details on how to keep up with and stay a step ahead of your local competition. Remember, your liquor sales reps can be a great source of information for you in many respects. They also call on restaurants, so they can help you keep in the know about all the goings-on around town. Figuring out your financial and legal obligations. Owning a bar is an expensive and potentially risky proposition. As with any new business, you budget your costs, forecast your sales, and hope the sales exceed the expenses. But to be successful, you have to do more than just hope. You need to do your homework and get your detailed plan together first. Setting yourself up to succeed. You've probably heard, failing to plan is planning to fail, and it's as true in this business as it is in any other. Successful businesses don't just happen. People make them happen. Sure, some people get lucky, but most can only capitalize on that luck if they're watching their business and actively managing it. Here are some tools that can help you keep an eye on your business, evaluate your successes and failures, and reap the greatest financial rewards. A business plan. Hands down, a business plan is the best tool for figuring out how much money you need to get started and why, when, and how you're going to turn a profit. Check out Chapter 5 for the steps to create your own. It's not that painful, we promise. Income statements. An income statement summarizes your expenses and sales and gives you the bottom line profit for the month, or the quarter, year, and so on. Take a look at the sample in Chapter 5 to see what this looks like. For more details on using it in your business on an ongoing basis, turn to Chapter 15. Cash flow reports. A cash flow report tells you when money is coming in and going out of your bar. It shows you exactly when, where, and how you're spending and collecting all that cold, hard cash. Take a look at Chapter 15 for help on creating your own version of this exceedingly helpful tool. Inventory counts. Counting your inventory on a regular basis is crucial to your success. You buy ingredients, like liquor, juice, or even French fries, turn them into products, like cocktails and food items, and then sell them to your patrons. Physically counting your inventory and comparing it to what you should have, based on your invoices and sales numbers, tells you how much of your product is actually making it to the tables and bar top in your bar. It helps you see how much you're wasting, or, sadly, how much people are stealing from you. Check out Chapter 14 for tips on managing your inventory to maximize your profits. Hiring other people to help you steer the ship. Hire an accountant early on in the process of setting up your business. She can help you get your numbers together for your business plan, which is a must-do if you're trying to get financing for your venture. Chapters 3 and 5 give you the details. After you're up and running, you'll analyze your monthly financial reports and look for ways to improve the numbers. A good accountant, preferably one with restaurant or bar experience, can help. Take a look at Chapters 14 and 15 to know which numbers to watch and why. An attorney can help smooth the startup process by getting all your legal paperwork in order quickly. He can help you review contracts with suppliers, establish partnership agreements, file your permits, or maybe incorporate your business. Depending on how you set up your business, you may need to draft a partnership agreement or two. Watch for details in Chapter 3. Insurance is a financial necessity for any business owner. You need protection in case a water pipe bursts, a fire breaks out, vandals break in, or, worst-case scenario, someone sues you. Make sure you get a good insurance agent from the beginning. Chapter 3 can help you get the right one for you. Bringing in the crowds and keeping them coming back. Getting people in the door is important and, frankly, not terribly difficult. The hard part is making sure they have a great time, so great, in fact, that they want to tell their friends and come back night after night, week after week. Here are some beginning steps to get you thinking about your long-term plans for bringing in the crowds. Figure out what's truly special and unique about your bar. Write it all down, even if you never show it to anyone else. Take a look at Chapter 4 for help. Decide who your customers are. Are you interested in drawing a college crowd or after-work yuppies? Do you want sports fans or music lovers? Figure out what kinds of things attract them. Maybe it's free stuff, like keychains and magnets with your bar's name on them. Or maybe it's live music or all football all day. Check out Chapter 6 for more entertainment options. Look at ways to communicate that your bar matches your customers' wants. Connect with your customers where they are. Maybe it's in the college newspaper or on a banner in the subway or on the back of a ticket stub from the local baseball team. The possibilities are endless, but you have to get creative to get noticed. See Chapter 16 for more ideas. Engage in an ongoing conversation with your customers. It's never been easier or more necessary to get real-time, relevant feedback from customers than it is today. Social media sites, such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, are tailor-made for users to give their opinions and share their experiences with other people. Your patrons can be your biggest ambassadors. Respond to their questions and ideas. Ask their opinions. Repost their pictures of your food and them having a great time with friends in your place. Chapter 16 can help you get started. Chapter 2. Understanding what it takes to own and operate a bar. In this chapter, figuring out why and whether you really want to do this. Debunking the myth of inevitable failure. Facing financial realities. Getting a handle on the time involved in running a bar. A bar is a place to celebrate, relax, and have fun with friends. For the patrons. You, on the other hand, work in this place. While it's definitely fun, it has a serious side. You have to be responsible for everything and everyone in the joint. You have to make sure everything's going smoothly, patrons are happy, and the laws related to running your business are followed to the letter. In this chapter, we help you get a handle on the reality, not the scripted reality TV version, of what it's like to run a bar. We help you get a sense of the time commitments, the financial obligations, and the sacrifices you make as a bar owner. We also help you sort out your own motivations and expectations to make sure you're going into the business with your eyes wide open. Social Skills 101. Do you really like people and their problems? To succeed in the bar business, you have to be accepting of lots of personalities, schedules, and priorities that aren't yours. Whether you're dealing with customers, employees, or a sales rep trying to place the latest in a long line of apple vodkas in your bar, you have to develop a thick skin if you don't have one already. Patrons are convinced you added too many beers to their tab. Another group knows they were next in line for a pub table. Someone else thinks you're watering down the drinks. All headaches that you have to handle with a smile, or you risk losing your clientele. Employees often have jobs in addition to the one at your bar, or they may be just working for you temporarily, between real jobs or between school years. Although bar employees know they need to be at work to get paid, they tend to be very socially active. So you'll have to balance schedule requests, last-minute call-offs from employees who had too much fun the night before, and workers who completely drop off the face of the earth. The bottom line is that many times this job isn't an employee's first or second or third priority, and you'll need to find a way to deal with it. Remember, you are in the people business. You have to compete for clients and employees. Accommodate them, but don't let either group walk all over you. Considering your motivation. Why do you want to be in this business? It's not a rhetorical question, or at least it shouldn't be. You should know the answer, even if you don't share it with us. Seriously consider the question and write down the answer. There are lots of great reasons to want to run a bar. Here are a few of our favorites. You love a fast-paced, dynamic work environment. You love taking on a challenge. You're passionate about mixology.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?